Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to do another video response. I'm actually really enjoying the video responses. You guys have a lot of questions, and I think it does help us in our goal with preparedness. I do have some more projects that I'm working on that once they're all completed, I'll be able to post some of that homesteading content that I've been really wanting to do more and more of lately. But again, with the puppies and then with everything else going on, it's just, things are busy here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this comment up. Let's look at it. Let's take it seriously, and let's answer our viewers' questions. Welcome back. So right off the bat, I'm going to leave links up to all my barter videos. Nobody was mocked or treated disrespectfully, so I'll leave all those links up for you guys to take a look at. But what we're really seeing is what the title of this video is. We're seeing a huge divide. We're not really seeing a divide. You have majority of preppers in the prepper community. There's no divide. There's just a few of us that are, that don't fall into that conformity. But most prepping is this scenario-based, fear porn, algorithmic way of prepping, which always leads down to this stockpile and hoarding mentality. And we'll get into why that is. And then you have other people like me that are application solution based preppers, right? We don't look at all the what if scenarios that are constantly changing. We find an issue and then we make bulletproof solutions and applications to then solve the issue that we find at hand or in front of us. So you have this idea, and we'll take bartering for a quick instance since that was what was mentioned in this comment. You have these people that look at preparedness through this lens of fear porn and the scenario, right? And the scenario always changes, because if somebody says, well, in this scenario, life as we know has changed, we're in a shit hits the fan without rule of law type of scenario, money doesn't mean anything anymore, the power's out, how are you going to barter for supplies, right? And that's how they start their preparedness journey, right? What do? Well, you go on YouTube and you find the Prepper Nows, you find the Angry Preppers, you find the, all the preppers, right? City Prepper, Urban Prepper, Alaska Prepper, Magic Prepper, all the preppers. You find all of them, and they all talk about the stockpile and hoarding mentality. Hey, like Prepper Now said, you need condoms, you need poncho liners, you need alcohol, you need tobacco because people may smoke. So you need all these different things because you never know who you're going to run into. So you need to have everything just in case. It's this hoarding mentality. Hoarders hoard things because they never know when they might need it. They've convinced themselves that there might be a scenario in which they need it. Ergo, the stockpile and hoarding mentality. And so you have people like you see in this comment that are of this mindset and ideology. And then what happens is, coincidentally, they're the same person that will say, hey, you don't get precious metals because you can't eat precious metals, right? Even though they right now are engaging in commerce with fiat currency in which they can't eat either way. So again, it's a very hypocritical way to look at preparedness, but the reason why they look at it through that lens is because it's an entertaining lens, right? There's no doubt having a few drinks, having a cigar, talking about, this Russia thing that's apparently supposed to happen this month in February, which is not going to happen. I know, crazy. And you're saying something crazy. How can you say that's not going to happen? Well, we'll come May time, right? If May came, if we get to May and nothing's happened, well, I guess I was just right again. It's just crazy. But it's one of those things where you look at this from the real lens of nuance here, and you realize, okay, this is portrayed in this way because number one, it's entertaining, and number two, people are not thinking rationally, in my humble opinion. So you have people that are, in all honesty, they have no idea. So what happens? They start prepping in one way, and then in their mind, they convince themselves of another scenario. So then they halt that project, and they immediately embark on another adventure, and that's how you get the person with, 1,000 Bic lighters, 7 or 8 Berkey filters, a solar generator, 5 or 6 cartons of cigarettes that they've never that they don't smoke because they've never smoked, and then 30 bottles of cheap whiskey that they don't drink because they're not drinkers, but just in case they run into the drinker, just in case they run into alcoholic, post-collapse is actually going to have something of value worth trading somehow in their journey, they'll be able to trade. So that's how scenario-based preppers prep, right? It's through the fear porn. It's through the, as Angry Preppers likes to say, the what ifs. I didn't say it was going to happen, but I said it might. The mights, the what ifs, right? So you have those, you have that thinking, you have that mentality. And then you have what a few of us do, common sense solutions, problem solving solutions to issues that may arise. So let's show you how we look at bartering and how that changes. So with a solution based model for preparedness, we take issues and we see them as is, right? So I don't need a scenario to tell me, you know, I don't need to follow a scenario template. So this is how it would go. Without rule of law, shit hits the fan. We're in a situation where fiat currency, where money is of no value. So what are some bulletproof solutions to put into place, right? Well, I know that I'm going to need to be a producer of something, because you're right. Everybody could have different wants, beliefs, and desires. So I need to be able to produce something in excess that other people are going to want, because number one, I'm going to need it. So that's one less thing that I need. And then it's going to have some inherent value. So in my case, yes, I'm a producer of food. I produce food. Other people can produce other things, but I produce food. The next thing, instead of wondering what people may need, instead of wondering what my mechanic may want, instead of wondering what my contractor friend may want, instead of wondering what my seamstress may want, instead of wondering what my nurse practitioner may want, instead of wondering what my security person is going to want, instead of wondering what the fuck these people might want, I have a very closed loop one-on-one conversation with them. Hey bro, you're a mechanic. If this thing all goes to hell, what do you need? How can we engage in commerce with each other? How do we do this? What do you want? Oh, well, that's funny you asked. I was thinking the same thing. This, and this. Okay, so you'll take silver, or you'll take food, or you want this, or you want that. Perfect. I just want to run by you, see what you think, since you're my neighbor, right? And obviously, you know, I should talk to my neighbors because it's super important if anything happens, whether that means I need a cup of sugar or there's somebody on my property or this whole thing goes to hell. I'm really glad we had this conversation. You want to come over for dinner sometime? We should hang out. We haven't hung out in a while. Cool. So a solution-based prepper, right, looks at it from cause and effect. So yes, this is a factual problem because I know today I will sell you a rabbit for $50. A live rabbit, $50 a piece. Sounds like a lot, but it's not that I can't hold on to them, right? So $50 a piece. Today, I will accept $50 US currency, no problem. I'll also accept 2 ounces of silver. Tomorrow, I may not accept your $50 American, but I will still accept the 2 pieces of silver, right? The 2 ounces of silver. So I'm coming up with realistic, real life solutions to problems that may arise, right? There's no thinking required. These are bulletproof solutions. I know what people want. I know what people need. And if it changes, I'm still having these conversations with them and I know what they want. I know what they need. Take toilet paper, for example. We can speculate. We can go through the rabbit trail of all the different things that may cause a toilet paper shortage, right? This may be a problem, right? And we can talk about, well, I'll just buy this or I'll do that. Well, what happens if the store doesn't have it when you want to buy it, right? We can run through all these solutions. That's how a scenario-based prepper preps. How I prep and how people like me prep. Okay, let's just say for some reason I'm either tapped out financially, so I can't afford toilet paper, or toilet paper is not accessible. Something happens to where it's not available. Solutions. All right, I have infrastructure set up. I've installed a bidet, so I'll have water. I'm running on a well. I have water. I have a river down here. Ways of getting that water. I have water. Bulletproof solution. I have water. I have the bidet. Family cloth. I have it. It's stored up. It's there. I know exactly how I need to get it, how to get it, etc. Perfect. Bulletproof. Done. Solution. No more thinking. Literally took me 15, 20 seconds. Done. No more issues. No more crazy scenario talking about caravanning. Done. Solution. Problem is solved. What is the next problem, right? So that's what we're really seeing. What we're really seeing is we're seeing this deep dive into the fear porn conspiracies and all these ever-changing scenarios. I mean, just look at how many food shortage videos there are right now. I mean, just look at how many there are. Look how many supply chain issue problems that people are just conspiracizing about. Look at the Russia thing. How many times people are just talking about all these conspiracies and things that are happening that aren't happening, but may happen. They might happen, right? They might happen. And so that's where preparedness has come to, right? So it's really, when people are upset with the solution, it's not necessarily that they're upset with me. Their mind just doesn't work that way. They have to play this out through a scenario. They don't want to seek solutions. They don't want to problem solve, right? Because let's be honest, the way I do things is not very entertaining. It's bulletproof, it's factual, it works, but people don't like it because it's not entertaining. So again, I'm not telling you how to prepare, but there is a huge difference between the scenario-based prepping and the solution-based prepping, right? Solutions. And so back to the ending, you know, I don't think that I know everything. I know what I know. There's a reason why I don't talk about a lot of different topics on this channel that other channels talk about, right? And I've talked about a few of those. I talked about some of that in my interview with The Watchman, but I stay in my lane very well. If I know something and I can speak factually, intelligently about it, I do. If it's outside of my swim lane, I just don't touch it. I don't mess with it. And that's not because I think I'm smarter. It's not because, you know, I have this complex because I was in the military or as a first responder or whatever. Has nothing to do with that. I talk and I articulate facts. And I know sometimes it hurts people's feelings, but ultimately that's what I do. I stay very well within my swim lane because it's what I know and it's what works, right? And so that's why, you know, we're seeing such divide. We're seeing such divide in the community. The community is fracturing. And that's because you are starting to see all the baggage that comes with these scenario-based preparedness models. You know, the mental health issues that we're seeing right now in the preparedness community are really, truly sad, okay? And I think it was a tipping point with the whole freaking QAnon thing. It was really sad. Not only was it really sad, it was horrific. It was just, it's so horrible. It's the sad, I mean, it's super sad, right? And so I encourage you, you know, you can prep any way you want to prep, but realistically, no matter what, if there's going to be a problem, there's going to be a solution. Now, the solution may cause you to, you know, really grow as a person. Like I said, with my biases, I was lucky enough where I didn't grow up in America, right? So a lot of these Western societal norms, like eating leftovers or shopping at, you know, resellers or growing my own food, using family cloth, like all these things that are looked at at Western society as just no-goes. I have no problem. I have no problem with that lifestyle. I have no problem with the sustainability lifestyle because I don't have those biases and societal norms to overcome. I can just focus on efficiency. So I know that some of these solutions are going to be harder than others. You know, it's going to be harder for some than others. But ultimately, there are solutions, and they're very easy, and they're not going to cause you stress, and there's really no need to really freak out about. So again, you know, we should all be respectful. Obviously, nobody should be mocking anybody. Again, if you think that I got something wrong, let me know. Go factually check my work. Go back to those barbering videos, see what I have to say. Poke holes in my logic. But ultimately, if we want to be serious about preparedness, we want real life fixes, solutions, go out and seek them. It's pretty simple. It's not difficult, and there doesn't need to be any fear porn associated with it. Again, problem, solution, move on. So there you have it. Hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate everybody's work, and I appreciate all the questions we've been getting lately. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, guys, long live the Republic.